So you said when you had joined, it was like around 600 employees, right? Like 7 years back.
Yeah.
7 years, you've grown to 4,000 plus
Yeah.
as
Yes.
the size of the company, right?
Yes.
Now, as a company, when you came in, it was 600 employees. So ThoughtWorks was having the strategy of not going through external vendors, or you came in and then brought this up. How is it? How did you go about setting it up and not having much of external dependencies?
Yeah. Yeah. So we did have a few agencies to begin with. When I came in, there were some of them legacy ones who were working. There's nothing wrong about using agencies, but you need to know where to use them. Like, for example, if you're a startup or if you have a very small company with less than 50 people with one recruiter, then maybe it makes sense because you also need the agency to go out and spread the word about about your company, and you want people to, it'll be a good branding for you. But then in a scale up or a larger company, in-house recruiting team works better, and have seen the benefits of it long time. I'm a very strong believer in having an in-house robust in-house recruiting team, right from the days when I was in Oracle. Right from the 2002 to 2003, Oracle was one of the earliest companies that had an in-house recruitment team, and I've seen the benefits of it. I've seen how it has grown and all the good things that it brought about, not just for the organization. Of course, cost is one factor, but that's a very one-dimension way of looking at it. But also, a lot of value add for the recruiters. So there are 2-3 things that stand out, whether it depend, irrespective of which company you do it. One is that the recruiters, for themselves, right? There's a lot of growth and understanding. One is because they're no longer paper pushers. They're not just pushing one CV from one inbox to another and doing a messenger role. They have a opportunity to become talent advisors, get to know, understand their domain well, and build and gain expertise in the domain of recruiting. Then second thing is, who is a better person to sell your company or your job than a person who is already in the company. So the recruiter knows the culture of the company, the career path, what happens when people join. So selling of the jobs and answering the questions what candidates have, handling those objections comes more naturally, and it is more, there's more truth to what they're going to speak about. They're not simply, selling the job or they're selling the requirement to fill a Java, for example, when a Java rec or something, right? So they'll tell you the holistically what is in it. And secondly, the recruiters also are in closer sync with the hiring teams and the hiring managers. They know the business well. They know which direction the business is going, and they know who will be the right fit for that particular group, for that particular organization. And because they work closely with the hiring managers, then this whole feedback mechanism, closing the loop, and getting people on board gets easier. And this also builds a much more closer relationship with the candidate, and also the candidate experience. Like, over the years, we have seen how important it is to give candidates a good experience, irrespective of the outcome of the interview, irrespective of whether the candidate joins you or does not join you. There's always a relationship that built that helps you in the future. And this candidate, even if the person, they don't join you, they'll go out and talk nice about good things about a company, about the good experience they had, and that spreads a good word of mouth. So this helps in building the brand. And often what we have seen, at least in all my years in Oracle, or for that matter, even in Yahoo when I went in, and even in IBM Labs when I was leading it, we hardly had any vendors there, although the consulting groups used to use a lot of vendors. So what I've seen is, because of the relationship you build with your candidate, these last minute offer declines, and people not showing up on the day of joining, almost becomes nil. Like, if I look back in the last couple of years, probably I would have had maybe 1 or 2 people who didn't show up on the day of joining. Yes, I'm talking of the lateral candidates. We get to know early in the process when the candidates are more candid. They tell if they're interviewing with other companies or they're getting any offers, and that whole relationship management becomes very good. So that kind of helps. So, and when you're scaling up, of course, the cost also matters. And if you're using more vendors extensively, the same candidates is presented to 100 other companies, right? And then it almost becomes like a bidding war. and then the candidate will go, they'll have no compelling reason to come to your company versus someone else who's paying them 1 lakh more or paying them some extra equity. So keeping all this in mind, I've seen it really work well. But of course, for that, you need a good system, you need good recruiters, you have to do a lot of heavy lifting until this whole thing settles and you get a team in place. But it's worth doing it because the benefits are really very good.